Let's talk about something most developers never even measure. What if I told you there's a hidden cost to your AI agent? A running meter that's costing you a fortune before your user even types a single word. It's a kind of token tax, and it could be billing you for thousands of tokens before the real work even starts.
So, check this out. I was looking at an agent's logs the other day, and I saw this number. The user's actual query, it was maybe, 6 tokens? Super short. But the billable input for that very first turn was a staggering 11,400 tokens. Honestly, for a second, I thought our counter was broken. But it's not a bug, it's a feature, and it is an incredibly expensive one. And when you actually do the math, that one hidden cost, if you scale it up to about 10,000 sessions a day, it turns into an invoice for over $128,000 a year. Now, look, that's the absolute worst case, totally uncached scenario, but still, what a jaw-dropping number for functionality you might not even be using.
So you have to be asking, how on earth does a tiny 6-token query generate an 11,000 token bill? I mean, where are all of those tokens coming from? Let's peel back the layers here and really look at the anatomy of this so-called token tax.
We call it the MCP token tax. MCP, or the Machine Consumable Protocol, is this super powerful standard for agent tools, but it comes with this huge upfront cost. Think of it this way. Every single time a new session starts, your agent is forced to read the entire instruction manual, the full schema for every single tool it could possibly use. It doesn't matter if it needs 1 tool or 60, you're paying to load the whole library every single time.
And you know what's really sneaky about this is how innocently it all starts. A single tool, right? Maybe one to create a calendar event. Its schema might only be about 160 tokens. That feels totally fine. It's practically a rounding error. But of course, nobody builds a useful agent with just one tool.
And this table just illustrates the problem perfectly. It's all about multiplication. You start by adding a calendar server. Okay, then Gmail. Then you add Drive, Slack, GitHub. And each one comes with its own whole set of tools. Suddenly, your agent is packing 65 different functions. And before you know it, you're stuffing over 11,000 tokens of just tool descriptions into the context window for every conversation.
Which brings us right back to that brutal math. Uncached, you're looking at that $128,000 figure. Now, to be fair, prompt caching helps. It helps a lot. It can knock that cost down by about 90%. To a more reasonable, but still pretty significant, $12,800 a year. But here's the catch. That only works if your toolset is totally static, which, let's be real, it never is. Okay, so this probably sounds like a terrible deal. Why would anyone willingly choose to pay this tax? Well, it turns out there are some very good reasons. That token cost is buying you some incredibly powerful capabilities that, for some use cases, are absolutely essential. So let's take a look at what you're actually getting for your money. When you pay the MCP tax, you're buying runtime tool discovery. That's the ability for your agent to find and use new tools on the fly, without you having to redeploy anything. You're getting stateful sessions, you're getting portability across different clients, and you're getting strictly typed and validated I/O. For the right kind of project, these are total game changers.
So here's the crucial question you have to ask yourself. Which kind of project are you actually building? Are you in scenario A, building a simple in-house agent with a fixed set of tools you control completely? If so, MCP is probably overkill. You're paying a premium for flexibility you're just never going to use. But if you're in scenario B, building a big multi-tenant platform that has to serve tons of clients and connect to who knows what tools, then yeah, MCP is absolutely the right choice. It's just the price of admission.
But you know, there's also a third way. It's this hybrid model that most mature teams end up landing on. You keep your core always-on tools static and cheap. You basically hard-code them right into the prompt. Then you treat all those specialized long-tail MCP servers like optional plugins, loading them on demand only when they're actually needed. It's the balanced, pragmatic, and smart solution. Okay, so let's say you've decided MCP is right for you, but you refuse to pay that full sticker price. Excellent, that's the right mindset. Let's walk through your optimization roadmap. A clear, actionable playbook to get this cost under control. Your roadmap starts right here with a simple 3-step tool audit. First, calculate. Find out your exact tool prelude cost. Don't guess, actually measure it. Step 2, audit. Go through your tools. Which servers are the most expensive in terms of tokens, and which ones provide the least utility? You gotta be ruthless. And step 3, justify. Write down, for your own team, the specific business value of runtime discovery for your agent. If you can't make a strong case, it might be time to rethink things.
All right, now for the really high-impact stuff. First, perfect your prompt caching. You have to make sure that that big, stable block of tool definitions is always at the very beginning of your prompt. That's how you get the highest possible cache hit rate. Second, implement lazy loading. So instead of giving the model the whole library, you give it a library card, a simple meta tool it can use to ask for the full schemas it needs, but only when it needs them. Third, prune your namespaces. If a user is talking about their calendar, for goodness sake, don't load the GitHub tools. And finally, keep an eye on what's called code mode. It's an emerging pattern where agents generate client-side code to call tools, and it can be way more token efficient.
Okay, so after all those technical details and tactics, I want to leave you with just one single golden rule. It's a mental model, a new way to think about this whole problem that will guide you toward building leaner, meaner, more efficient agents. And here it is. Treat your tool prelude as a cost center, not a feature list. Every single token you add to that initial prompt is an infrastructure cost, period. You need to be just as rigorous and disciplined about auditing those tokens as you are with your database queries or your cloud compute bill. The mistake isn't using powerful tools. The mistake is just adding them to the list thoughtlessly without ever bothering to check the price tag.
So I'll just leave you with this final question. Your agent is generating an invoice with every single interaction it has. Do you actually know what's on it? Because the teams that can answer that question, they're the ones who are going to be building the faster, the cheaper, and the smarter agents of tomorrow. Your agent's invoice is waiting for you. It's time to go read it.
If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and the bell so you never miss a video.